Well, good day, tubes. How's she going? Pretty good here. So today we're going to work on this guy. We don't have to fix anything on it. What I want to do is the winter storage, get all the gas out of it, basically. Get all the gas out of it and kind of get her stored and ready to go away for winter. Good plate tamper here. Actually worked really well. Did it, what do we use it on the cement pad we poured for the sawmill, and then of course the cement pad out here too. Worked really good, but probably not going to use it now for the rest of now until maybe next year. So we probably should get the gas out of it, and there's going to be a fair bit of gas probably in it, and then we have to get the carb off and get that clean and dried right out too. Oil, I'll probably just leave the oil in it. It's only really got like an hour maybe on it. So anyways, but first of all, I just want to give a little shout out. I don't normally do shout outs on my video stuff, but I want to give a shout out to Cole that came to visit me on the weekend. Was it the weekend? Yeah, I forget the day now. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday, last Saturday. Came to visit me, and Cole watches my videos apparently religiously, so thanks Cole for watching. He came here and loves machinery. He wanted to see in the shed here and stuff, and he wanted to see in the containers, and what else did we like? I looked at the sawmill. He wanted to take my truck home. I'm like, no, sorry, you can't do that. He really wanted to take my truck home though, and what else did Dylan went down and got the backhoe and brought it up. He just says he just loves machinery. So I got a couple of pictures here. I did ask them permission if it's okay. Let me pull them up here on my phone. So let's just get this turned around here. So there's Cole and the backhoe. He just loved that. And there we are at the sawmill there. So that's a nice picture. And the last one here is he was looking at the old John Deere AR in there, so he had a good visit, and I'm glad I could meet with him, so it was really nice. I'm just got such a crazy schedule here that it's really hard for me just to take time like that to meet with people, but I met with him. I luckily didn't have any funerals that day. It was really good. I was surprised. Normally something comes up, you know, like Thursday they'll let me know for a Saturday, so it's like, well, there's Saturday screwed, right? So but anyways, thanks for coming, Cole. It was great to meet you, and hopefully you had a good time. So this thing looks like it got a little dirty too with the muck and stuff and the dusty stuff. I don't really have a way to wash that off, but so what we got to do with this guy first, let's get him spun around here. I guess we'll start taking the carburetor and everything off. Let's get down here on a tripod. I got the heater on a course here, and it's slowly warming up. Just down here it might be a little cooler, but it's going. So anyways, we'll got a gas can here too. I think that we'll figure out the fuel line and dump it into the spout maybe, or I got this other can here that I can use too if this one's too big. And yeah, we'll take the carb right off, get the fuel dumped right out of that. I know I ran it dry, so there shouldn't be much fuel in it, but there is a little, I'll show you when we get up, there's a little shut-off valve that always keeps a little bit in it too, so we'll have to just get that cleaned out as well, and then put her back together. And then when you go to start it, there's no gas gone rotten in it, because you know this, I might not use this for even a couple more years, right? Well, by that time, oh boy, what a mess she'll be. Now, if this doesn't take too long, I kind of want to do the same thing to this gen too. I don't think there's a whole pile of gas left in it. I just don't really remember now. But it's kind of turned into more of a workbench or a storage workbench than anything. And honestly, unless I'm welding something, I really don't need to be running it. So I like to get it kind of dried out and, you know, clean and stuff until we need it again. Which, I don't know, might not be for a while either. So if we get through this one pretty quick, we'll do this one too. If not, well, we'll leave that one for another day. So, because, you know, we don't really need this now because we got the power for the compressor here, which I should probably turn it on to get ourselves a little more air. We're down about 40. I got this little valve on the bottom of this tank. just seeping a little wee tiny bit. Keeps the water from building up in the bottom and rotting the tank out, right? So let's fire it up here, and we'll let that build up. The heat's coming, feels nice. And we'll start working on this machine here. Here we go, it's gonna be loud. All right, well, I gotta start by taking, look, I'm using my left hand as much as I can. I'm gonna try to rely on it today as much as I can. It's actually not doing too bad. There's just some things I still can't do, like I can do that. That starts to hurt there, but there, it's better, but it's better than it was. Ooh, this is actually pretty dirty. Kind of makes sense. I'll take this inside and give this a wash. Maybe because I got the warm water and stuff in there. Could do it out here. I do have a little bit of soap, and I do have a bit of water. I just have to heat up the water, but I'll just take it inside. So there's pretty dirty filter, and we'll wash that off. Let me just peel this off of here. And so I want to try to do the gen today. I don't know whether I'll get to it or not. It's not a big deal to have to do it today, but that'll give us something to do next time, maybe too. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But Kevin, if you remember Kevin, I'll go wash that out. Kevin that helped me do the cement pad here, he finally brought his generator down. That's what our trade-off is he's got an old multi-quip generator with a Honda engine on it that it looks like it's didn't get this, what we're doing here, done to it, and it sat there for looks like it sat for quite a while, and it's pretty grimed up now itself. So we need to do a bit of work to it. He brought it actually down today, and we'll have to get to that fairly soon. Although he's not needing it right away, but he wants it for his house. He lives kind of out, I've never seen his house, been to his house or anything, but he lives out kind of in the middle of kind of nowhere, and I think he wants it for a backup gen for the winter here, so we'll have to get that going for him. You notice I only got one glove on. I'm going to do anything hopefully with the gas part of it with that hand, and keep this one without a glove on it. Alright, so 10 millimeter, we'll take this cover off of here. So you got the two of them that go through the carburetor here onto the studs that hold the carburetor on, and then there's one back here too as well that holds this thing. Hondas are pretty nice machines, I gotta say. Oh, that one wasn't very tight. This is a bolt, the other two were nuts. This is your air filter housing. Now I gotta kind of put, I got the fuel in it still. I don't really want to turn the fuel on, but we'll get that in the right spot. And that should just pop right out. Got pretty dirty. Wow. Could probably wash that too, but I'm not really super concerned about it. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Wow, they really loosened that up a lot too. Let's see if I can maybe tighten that back up a little bit. They want it to go smooth, but I think they cut her a bit too loose here. This is the little throttle control here. Normally you use that, right? But this has the little one up on the handle here. So let me just see how they got this. I just don't really want it flopping around. It's still working. It's got a little bit stiffer. Probably could go a little more. And that's how these things kind of normally work. They're a little bit tight on the little bolt here, and then you just, the tightness of that bolt holds it from moving. So yeah, this one is going to be interesting to get. Okay, so we're going to take that guy off, and he goes back on that way. That's a rubberized gasket metal rubberized gasket there. Okay, so let's see what you guys are looking at here. Not really in the right spot. Let's get this turned a bit here so you can see a little better here. So we got to get this fuel line off of here, and sometimes these things, these little clips, they must have something that pushes it bigger, because sometimes these things don't really work too nice. There we go. Okay, now we got to get this ready too, because as soon as this thing opens up, she opens up. So what I'm going to do here is, oh man, let's see if I can get this cap off of here. This might be too high. So I got this other can here. It's a little bit shorter, but what I want to do is hook. Yeah, it's going to be too tall. Let's use the other can here. I want to just hook that, put that line in there, and just let her dribble in, and hopefully that'll work. I did the pressure washer the other day this way too, and I didn't film that, but same sort of thing. That should be a little better. Okay. Now if we're good with this line, should be able to get her to pop off and just fit right in there. This line is way shorter than the other one. Okay, that's draining out. That's good. Now we got to try to get this carburetor off of here, and then there's a couple of little there's a little spring here you got to get off, and this stuff can just sit there, and this guy, the throttle, there you go, just popped itself out. The throttle just basically has to over center, and then the little rod just comes right out. None of this J bend or Z bend stuff. Oh man. Okay, so this should be pretty much empty. Very dirty though, I must say. Got her dirty. Let's just give her a quick blast of air here. Alright, I got some of it off. So, these choke things just sit on there, and then they just mesh in there with that little pin. So that will actually maybe leave off for now, because it'll probably fall off anyways. And that's of course your throttle. Now under here is the, you have to take the idle speed out here so you can see how that works. That adjusts your idle there. And under there is the other jet too, but I'm probably not going to bother with it. This thing ran fine. I mean, it's like brand new, this thing, right? So it better run fine. But I do want to get a little bit extra fuel out of it, because there is just a little bit that'll stay in this thing, and it's mostly in this guy right here, and this little shut-off valve. So let's get, now this would be a good test. See if I can get my, holy smokes, who put that on? I don't want to twist on it. I'm pushing like right on the bone I just broke there too, so let's maybe see if we can do this another way. So do you put that against your bone that you just broke, or do you put the broken hand that you just had on the tool? Well, we got her. Wasn't nice and it wasn't fun, but we got her. So that will just pull this. Yeah, there's still a bit of fuel in here, a little bit. And that little bit there could cause you a nightmare. But I like to run these right dry. You know, when you shut it off, you're almost done with it. You shut the fuel off and let her putter until there's nothing left, kind of thing, and it gets most of it out. So yeah, it's pretty clean in there, so it's pretty good. Okay, so I should probably get something. Well, I can just put this down here. So we're gonna pull this guy out. just going to put that on this other can here, and hopefully it stays there. Pull the little float out and the little needle. Well, that's all incorporated into the back there. You can see the little needle guy. That's good. He can stay there. And I could pull the jet out of there, but I don't think I'm going to really bother. But we want to open this up. And there'll be a bit of fuel, yeah, dribble out. So there's like a little sediment cup in here. Probably should pull that thing right off, but this is how I do it anyway. So we've got a gigantic long wand up here. So this should, now if you go real easy with it, yeah, see that fuel that just puked out of there? All over the hand that I don't have the glove on. See that? It was great planning, wasn't it? And yeah, I should put a glove on that side, I guess. I don't know. Still feel a little bit coming out there. But that's going through that circuit all through this thing and then out the inlet. Going right up the tube there. Let's open this guy up. Come on now. It's going right up that tube that's right inside there. I just don't know if you guys can see inside that little, it's kind of hard to show you that, but basically it sucks it off the bottom of the carburetor here and then shoots it up in this little tube as it's sucking the air through, and that's what vaporizes it and sucks it into the engine. So pretty neat little process, really. Really thought of some really cool stuff there. So I don't generally take these off. I mean, we could, if I could find where I put my, oh, it dropped on the floor, didn't it? These are kind of hard to get off, and there's rubbers and stuff in here. Not too bad. So this is like a little sediment cup thingy here. So if you had some crap come through, it would probably stay in here. And there's a little filter and stuff. It's actually pretty clean looking. See, that blew that out pretty good. There's not even any dirt in there, so pretty good, really. Yeah, there's a little filter in there, and that could get bunged up, so if it won't run, not getting fuel while it's trying to run, it's probably that. But a little preventative for that. That's good. Okay, that seems pretty good there. Now, that's not too bad in there either, really. Let's give it a quick blow. Maybe I can get any. Yeah, that'd be just fine. So now, this is the out. So you want your drain to be about there. And we'll thread this guy back in. Let's just double check that. That's got to be going there. So the drain, yeah, drain's right out there. Perfect. Now, I can't really hear that tank draining. That's probably pretty good. A little more, yep. All right, so that guy's good. We can probably slap him back in now. Like I say, there's another jet under here, but I'm not going to worry about that little jet. We have to take this guy out, and then that thing just pops out. Well, I think it's part of this idle circuit jet there. Anyways, we'll slap this back in here. And for now, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just wondering what's going on in the tank here. Now, there's always going to be a little bit in that tank you're not going to get out too. And I got a way to do that too. It's a little bit harder with like the big gen here. I almost have to take the tank right off to get the fuel right out of there, but this, let me just look in here and see how we're looking. And this has got an attached cap. It's still... Oh, there's still quite a bit in there. Let's just make sure it's cool. I'm gonna have to let this sit and drain for a little while on its own. Oh yeah, it's still dripping. Okay, that's gonna maybe take a little while. It's maybe gonna take a little while. So maybe I'll let that kind of go there. And I'll let that kind of go there, and maybe I'll pop in and clean this filter out because it's definitely sucked in some sky. But you can see it's on the outside and it's not so much on the inside, so it's done its job, which is good. I'm pretty happy with that, but that's going to take a while to drain out. I didn't think we had that much gas still in there. Okay. Well, I'll go do that maybe, and then get that ready to go. I'll have to re-oil it too with some, I usually use like the fluid film stuff. Spray a bit on and smush it around a bit. But give me a sec, I'll go wash this out. Alright, it's a little better. It's a little wet still yet, so I gotta dry it all out. Ooh, boy, really wet actually. What song was that? But it'll dry up pretty quick here. Okay, I think we're still draining gas out, so we might still be a little while doing that. Because I gotta kind of wait to put the carb on and all that stuff. Well, let's see here. Now, what do I do with my light? Here it is. Oh, she's pretty much to the bare bottoms there now, I think. It just must have been almost a full tank in there. Let's just see here now. Oh yeah, pretty well done now. Okay, that's good. So doing it that way with the can kind of helps a little bit to reduce, like a little bit of fumes in the air, because it's really not good for you. Ah, crap! You know what we forgot to do? I totally forgot because I didn't have it in front of me. She'd be leaking like crazy. Did you guys catch that? You guys probably caught that, didn't ya? Hope you did, anyways. There would have been some screaming. There would have been some screaming. Hey, looks like I caught her just in time, though. We forgot to put our float back in. There we go. She'd been just... Why is it leaking like crazy? I just happened to look over there. I'm like, ah, crap. Ah, crap. That's all right. It's all good. Let's just get this back on here. Oh, bother. I really hate wearing gloves because you can't feel nothing. Okay, so that's there, so I want that. Yeah, that's... Right about there. Yeah, gloves are stupid. I don't like gloves, but now we're good. Let's just give that a little more tug. Okay. Now we're good. Okay. So now what I gotta do, and hopefully this thing will allow me to. Get this thing out of here. There we go. So now what we gotta do, because there's a couple little cavities, or whatever you want to call it, on the bottom of the tank where it's not perfectly smooth. There's always going to be a little bit of fuel left in there. I want to get that right out too, so I put in a couple of towels. These aren't really the best towels for this. They absorb pretty good, but they don't sometimes come out too nice. But this will absorb whatever's left in there. And that little inlet is about in the middle of the tank here, so there is like a little, it's pretty clever actually, because they have like a little, say this is the bottom of my tank, and the little spout thingy with the little filter on there too comes up here, but there's like this little cavity on the bottom kind of thing where extra fuel and dirt and junk will sit and it won't let it go through. It's pretty clever actually. They have this figured out pretty good, these Honda guys. So that'll absorb all the rest of that. We'll let that sit there a minute. And I guess I gotta put some air behind this thing again. And we'll give this a little shot of air. This thing's way too long. I don't know why I got this gigantic long. Should get her all dried out. So this can probably go back on here again. And we got to get this guy lined up there. And then I need the little, this has got to go on this side. And I think this is supposed to help with surging, this little springlet. You wouldn't think this little guy would do very much. Nope, missed it. No, just squeeze that guy up a little bit. And as that's going in, we'll get this line stuffed on there. See if we can get her down over the thing here. There's a little bulbous thingy that it's got to go up and over there on the very end of that inlet there. There we go. It's sitting perfectly great there, but I think that's it. Should be good. Okay, so now this guy, we got to put this guy back on too. That goes in there and on there. So when we choke her, kind of don't think that line is right down where it should be. Well, that's it, I guess. Okay, turn that off again, and we're gonna put this guy on. Dirty, but not too bad. I was working in some pretty dirty conditions, this thing. So. Okay, and then this guy. And this is the little tube that goes into the where the valves are there. It sucks it that any gases back out of there and back and burns it again. That wasn't in very far though, was it? Holy smokes. So maybe they cut the line a bit too short for this one. And that's got to go there too. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, there's not much there. Ooh, that's a bit too short, that line, I think. All right, so we now need these two guys. Before we get those too tight, we'll get this top one going too, because they never really seem to line up super great. Oh yeah, that seems right. It didn't seem like it was working right there, but I think we're okay. That ought to do it. I'll leave that closed in case any bugs want to crawl up in there, which I doubt they will. They can't get in there, so. And this guy. Okay. Wasn't too bad. And this guy. Yeah, it's not too bad. It feels pretty good. Oh, still a bit of moisture in there though, yeah. Rental. Man, sure cleaned a lot of these things out. Give it a wash and get all the dirt back out. And it's a bit wet, dampish feeling, but I think it'll be all right. We'll give her some fluid film here and grease her back up. Oh no, I'm almost out in this can. So I just want to mush her around a bit. You don't want her soaked with this crap, but just enough to catch that dirt on the outside. I'll stick this all back together. And this actually helps keep it a little supple and moist too, this thing, that stuff. So stick that back in there. Maybe. Oh, I pulled the thing off. Little rubber washer's got to go down there. There we go. And we get the nice decorative wing nut for the top. This just gets the regular stamped steel one. Oh, the twisting is pretty hurting yet, but I'm able to do it, so that's a good thing. Let's give this a quick blast out of here. I think that was a really good investment buying this thing. I was humming and hawing, oh, maybe I'll just go rent one. I'm like, you know what? I'll probably use it a lot more than I realize. So, yeah, sure enough, I have been. That feller down there. That feller there. Okay. That's good. Now the fun part. Try to get all this out of here again, because it kind of deteriorates the whatever this is held together with. That's why I say it's not really the best kind of towel for this, but see how soaked it is though, right? There's still quite a bit of gas. I think there's still actually some gas in here. Looks like there is. I gotta dump this outside though. Here, give me 1 sec. Because this is really sticky. Get back here, door. And let's have a quick look in there. Still a little wet looking. So I'm going to just grab a couple more here. I think there was maybe a little more in there than I kind of thought there was. And we can do this too. That'll get her, I think. The inside of these tanks are kind of sharp, so it's a bit hard on the towels, right? Yeah, there's a little bit still in there, but the little lip here, they're really sharp. Really, really sharp. So now we'll just take a bit of this. Make a bit of towel come out. That's got her. Let's have a look. Oh, it's like brand new. Brandy new. Let's see if I can get these off of this tripod here. We'll have a look. Let's have a look down in here. So you can kind of see that spout inlet there. Let me zoom in a bit here. See the little cavity down there? That, the light in the right spot. There it is. That's a little filter. So all that space underneath there is where all that extra fuel will sit, and all the junk or whatever is going to be migrating down into the bottom there. So I think we're good. That one should be good to go. So we'll just give her a little bit of cleaning. All it's going to probably sit in the container or something. Might stay in here for a little while, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty good. We'll put this guy back in too. Everything will line back up there again. Come on now. There. And that should be good. Probably should check the plug in it too, but like I say, it's only got like an hour on it, so I'm not too worried about that, I don't think. But that should do. Now let's try to get this gen out here. We'll just maybe have a look at her tonight, see what we gotta figure we gotta do. Alright, so the old Champion generator. Same thing with this. Whenever I was done with it, I shut the you know, the fuel off and let her run out. The only reason I do that is I got this blue generator, like I think I got from Walmart years ago. Probably still runs. I haven't used it forever, but and it's all dried and cleaned out too, right? But I found with that thing, if I didn't do that, the next time you went to use it, you will not start that generator. So anyways, let's see now. Battery's still good. It's got a tender built right onto it. You plug into the front here. Now, grab the light here. We'll just see how much gas is in it. I might just kind of maybe let this guy drain out for the night. And then we might have to pull the tank off. Yeah. There's not a lot in there, but when you think that with a tank like this, there's usually a couple of gallons. But anyways, let's see here. Well, actually, it'd be better to work on it this way here. Okay, let's see if I can spin her around on the spot here. This is a pretty good generator. I know when it was new, I put the oil in it, and we ran it and used it, but it actually seemed to be leaking out the main seal. Maybe I just had too much in it, but I don't know. It seemed to, there's a little bit of crap in it. Fairly clean though, so I'm not going to really worry about that. It seemed to leak out enough and then it stopped leaking, so I don't know. So this is the line here that looks like it's taken vapors off the tank, and it puts it back into here and it sucks it back in and burns the vapors as well. Okay. Now, there's the fuel line there. Let's get ooh. I don't know whether I'm going to take all those off. Looks like I might have to. There's a whole bunch of little screws here, and then the other ones, I think that's going to take this whole front cover off. Okay, let's get you maybe on the other side here. Yeah, I think I got to take all these small screws out of here, and then I'll take this front cover off, and then I can get into the ones for the carb there. They're not a 10 though, they're quite a bit smaller. These are probably 10s. Those are 10s, those are 8 maybe? Bang on. I could probably use some kind of power tool for this, but I'm trying to use my hands as much as I can. Now we'll switch to my, where did it go? Now it's down there. This toolbox is kind of not in the greatest of shapes. The little other side, the hingey part broke off it a while back, and it's kind of like a two-piece now. So now let's get this little tray here. We'll use this guy as the tray. So the generator I got to work on for Kevin that helped me with the cement pad here, I think it's sat for a long time. It's going to need to have the tank taken off and cleaned. It's need to have my nuts and bolts washer cleaning system. It's sat, I think, for quite a while. I noticed the recoil wasn't really working great either, and I'm not sure what would be up with that. Sure, the carb is just right full of crap. So it'll be a little messing around for us, but that's okay. Where'd you go? Way under here. That was her deal though. He's like, oh, I'll help you do this if you can get my generator going for me. I'm like, sure. I'll help you do that. Okay, now it looks like we got to work on this cover. Better use the ratchet itself, I think, here. The carburetor, I guess, is next here. What holds? It's got to be something else. Oh boy. How does that work? There's a bolt going through here that's threaded into a piece that goes down to the one side of the block, like the engine mount. Oh, I guess they got a bolt on it there. I see what's going on here now. I'm going to have to use, let me just get this guy off of here first. Nope, they put a 10 on there. Interesting. Interesting. So, this is a lot of work to do this, and then next week I need it. And I put gas in it, and it's all, you know, whatever. But if I don't need it, then it's good. Okay, leave that one up there. Okay, I think we're good now. And it's getting looser, so. Can't quite get that one with that extension on. So pop that off. I wish I could get you a bit lower. That's as low as this tripod goes, but it's not too bad. And up there. And they got the same. Get this off here. The same pipe going from the rocker cover holy smokes, why is that on there so good? Okay, we've got a nut encapsulated in here. There we go. Cover can probably just stay there. Now, that has got a shut off there, which is great. I think we can probably say I'm not 100% sure. Might be able to get away using this one though. Okay. Oh, there goes the little. Better not lose that gasket. Got this has got an electronic. You can't take that off of there. That's interesting. It's got an electronic solenoid on the bottom of the carburetor to open the fuel valve. So I might not be able to get too far away with that. That's nice. Okay. And this I might let her drain out overnight, maybe. Might be able to just get her right in there. Yeah, here. Piddling. Piddling. That choke doesn't come off quite as nice as the Honda did. I've got to try to get in here and get this little spring off, same as the Honda. A little spring, and then it's the same. They've copied Honda exactly. I mean, how pathetic is that? All these manufacturers now, even Briggs and Scrap Iron, they're even copying like the Honda design and the way they've got the carburetor. Or the cylinder, the way they position their cylinder, it's exact copy. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah, come up with your own thing. Just because someone else comes with something awesome doesn't mean that you have to as well. But anyways, they do. Now, they got Allen keys in on that thing. This thing actually probably doesn't have much fuel in it. And it doesn't have that same thing as the Honda, at least with that little shut-off valve, the same as that one did. I might just pop this guy off here and just see what comes out. If I can hold it. Holy smokes. Just see what's gonna come out of here maybe. And then I might not maybe go too much further with that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty dried out. Now sometimes these things just had a little thing you could unclip here. This one doesn't, unfortunately, so to get that out of there, looks like I would have to. And nice and dry in there. Wow, that's amazing. Doesn't feel like there's nothing coming out, so that sucks her right dry. I'm gonna say, wow, that does really good. But it looks nice and clean from what I can see in there. If there was any crap, you'd see it in there for sure. I don't think I'm gonna really mess with this guy. It doesn't need it, so there's no point in really tearing that right apart. That's fantastic. It would be nice to see inside of there, but I got to take. There's Allen keys here. I don't know how much more I got to take off of that. That should take that thing off, but yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think. I'm pretty happy with that. But I'm going to let that drain out. Go overnight, I guess, and then I'll have to come put her back together. I guess I better put this little bolt back in here. I wonder why it's leaking all over the place. Sounds like she's dribbling pretty good there. Okay, I can barely see this spring. Look where it's got to go. Oh, got her. She's on. She's on. Well, I'm surprised that carb was that dry. That's really good. I'm pretty happy with that. A little exhaust or the gasket on here. Good. I can't really officially get in here while this is draining, but I think what I'm going to have to do, and I might just do it myself, is probably take this tank right off. Because if I get a towel in there, unless I get a long piece, it's going to blow all over. I'll probably never get it back out again. But I kind of just want to see how far down it'll drain on its own. Let's see if I actually have a look. Look in here again. She's really going good there. That's good. Now that inlet should be right on this side here. Oh, I think that's going to drain most of that out. There's a little trough down there, but there's like a little square nut. Let me get you off of here, guys. Down in here you can see like that little trough. And there's where it's going out right there on this guy. So I don't think it's going to leave very much in there, but there's still a fair bit in there, surprisingly. It's still above that little trough in there, so. Yeah, it's going to be a bit to come out of there yet. So, I might just let her do her thing, and then we'll see how she's looking. It's going to take a while to drain that out. Probably should get that end up a little bit too. Just a little board or something for that foot to sit on maybe, and then it'll kind of prop it up a bit. Yeah, it'll help a little bit. It's got a bit more angle towards that front there now, so that should help. Okay. Well, I don't think there's really a whole lot more I can do tonight. I don't think there's a whole lot more we can do. This thing too, it only has, it's got 5 hours on it, I'd be surprised. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of fluid in there, we'll see. I haven't got a measuring stick to see how much, but anyways, it's all good. Looks fairly clean too, so that's good. But when you look in the tank of Kevin's generator, there's way smaller than this thing, which is good. Oh man, there's like chunks of stuff. So it's gonna need a lot of work. Somewhere over there I got a bunch of nuts and bolts and stuff I gotta get in and shake it around, shake it around, shake it around. I wish I had one of those machines that would, you know, kind of do it for you, but I don't. So anyways, I guess that's it for today. I'll let this guy go, and then I'll get her put back together, and she'll be good to go. Anyways, if you haven't seen how I do this kind of stuff for preservation, it seems somebody's probably thinking, well, that's way too much work for that. Well, yes, it's a lot of work cleaning things out like that, but at least you know next time you go to use it, she'll be like brand new out of the store. Won't be any goopy fuel in there, and the carb's not all gummed up and crappy and stuff, and she'll be good to go. But we'll get working on his machine probably fairly soon. He's not going to need it right back right away, but he wants it for winter time. So, but yeah, sweet. Anyways, there we go. Thanks again for watching. Catch yous all later, and you guys have a good one. She's pedaling away. This has a backup recoil on it too, which is good, but it's got that nice electric start. So, but sweet. There we go.